Hello everybody. The US against China's in the trade war. What is important is the tactics. Once we understand what kind of tactics that both countries are using, then we know what is being played, and we can even predict what the result will be. Let me tell you, after a lot of observation, a lot of analysis, I'm a news commentator in Hong Kong and closely watching the trade war between China and US for more than 4 years, not counting the previous times. So the tactic between US and China is time against money. Quite familiar, right? You have money, then you have time, you work, and you have money. Not that kind of thing. Is put it in a more accurate way. Money means the cash flow of foreign money of China, as well as the US dollar reserve. Time means the limited terms of office of President Trump, 5 years. So what China is doing is try to postpone the trade deal, up to last year, 1 year left for President Trump's office. We know that President Xi, the leader of the PRC, has an unlimited terms of office, while President Trump has to get re-elected into a second term of 5 years. So what China is trying to do is to steal time from President Trump's terms of office, postponing the trade deal to the last year. And after that, either it's an accident or planned or anyhow, what happened is that a coronavirus outbreak happened in Wuhan in China, and that is an excuse for China not to facilitate or not to and that's an excuse for China not to fulfill the trade talk or the trade agreement, first phase, between China and the US. And President Trump is trying to run for re-election. Time of Trump is limited. And what Trump is going to do is the other way around. China is rich, a lot of money spending in Africa, Central Asia, etc., for the One Belt, One Road, buying a lot of firms in the US, trying to influence the US press, as well as the research institutes, the universities in the US, and then trying to work closely together with the tycoons, very rich people in the Wall Street, so that foreign money can be secured. What Trump is trying to do is to break down the cash flow of PRC by first imposing tariffs on China, second, negotiating as well as pulling away China's trade partners like South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Europe, etc., and forming US-owned trade alliance. US is not going to break the WTO, it's not this sense, but trying to form a second order, a closer order between USA and other allies, other trading partners. And this further weakened China's position in export. The third way is to chill or to freeze China's growing technology business, pinpointing Huawei's 5G business by limiting the supply of chips to Huawei so that it can't be sold, and then asking a lot of US departments, as well as persuading other trading partners like the UK, Germany, etc., not to buy high-tech products from China because there's a hidden, so-called hidden security issue. And the fourth way of taking away China's US reserve or China's foreign investment is trying to impose a stricter, well, maybe it's a regular way or stricter way of monitoring the listed companies in New York. Say Alibaba or Baidu, etc., will suffer a drop in price, in shares price. And that's only the beginning. Tougher things is going to happen. What is being planned in the Senate is that the US will subsidy the firms if they move out from China and back to the US or even to Vietnam. The government is going to pay money so that foreign investment in China, I mean US dollars, flow in, will be pulled out. China will be poorer. I mean, of course, the economic recession as well as the weakened desire to spend money owing to the shutdown of cities during the Wuhan coronavirus will add to that pressure. I mean, people not really want to buy things from China. People are trying to hate China. I mean, by a poll in the US, more than 60% of US citizens has a very negative view on China and on Chinese products. So by taking away the US dollar from China's hand, Trump gains an upper hand, a stronger position. And Trump is trying to run for re-election. And the timing is that before the re-election, the US has prepared a quantitative easing of $2 trillion of US dollars and a lowered tax to pay for the firms as well as the workers during the reopening of the coronavirus lockdown. So economy will be stabilized or will be up a bit, and that's a good time for Trump to be re-elected. And what comes afterwards, of course, is a long term. It could be a very long time of economic recession. And I think not many candidates are interested in taking or in succeeding President Trump's office. So Trump will quite surely win the second term of presidential office. And now China's money is taken away and Trump gets an extra 5 years. And that's the end of the tactics. I mean, China, I can decide or I can judge, is that failed totally in this tactics. Because China thought that the terms of office is limited, only 5 years. And I have a lot of US dollars, a lot of reserve, a very strong trading partner of the world. But Trump thinks the other way around. My office is fixed. You can postpone, but you can't take away my time. Of course, the impingement in the US Parliament and Senate could endanger President Trump's office, but Trump stride through. I mean, survived the Senate or the Congress's impingement. So the 5 years of Trump is quite safe, but China's US reserve and US cash flow is quite dangerous because Trump tries every way, I mean, in a very three-dimensional or even in a sense of a mathematical matrix, trying to take away, to pierce a lot of wounds in China. So US dollar flows away from a lot of directions. But the 5-year terms of Trump's office is secured. And Trump will quite surely will have another 5 years. And now China's money has gone, or largely gone. what we can expect is that in this tactics of money against time, China has planned quite a wrong way, or thought in quite a crazy way, a mathematical way, or a mechanical way, that China didn't understand how free economy works in the West. Now we come back to stand zero, or to the original position. When China, opens up its market and try to export things to the world in the end of the 1970s, China didn't really understand what free economy is, and has been doing something wrong for 3 decades. But despite all these wrongdoings, because of quite good US-China relations, China prospers. Dictatorship, damage of human rights, all this doesn't matter because of good relation between China and the US. But now, when US market wants China to buy more, and China don't want to buy and don't want to open up its own market, then the issue of free economy comes out. And in my idea, or in my opinion, China never understands free economy, as China never understands what democracy and human rights are.